What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of Ade Gman. We're going to fly straight into this because there's loads to talk about, so no dilly-dallying. Let's get straight on with it. Oh, what, me? Because I normally give this really big intro, and it takes about a minute. I want to get straight to it. VERGIL Ortiz and that performance against Erickson Lubin before we talk about VERGIL versus Boots and could it, should it, would it happen? How good was VERGIL for you against Lubin?
Very good, but to be expected.
Second round blowouts to be expected?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, I was, honestly.
I wish you, because you see, I hate when people do this, because you didn't tweet about it, you didn't make a video about it,
Yes.
you have not spoken about it in any video, so I don't know if I believe you when you say to be expected, because there's nothing that suggests that you said this.
Well, I've said many times that I think Erickson Lubin is chinny, that VERGIL Ortiz hits very, very hard, and it's literally a case of when, not if, he takes him out. I know he didn't drop him in that second round, but it was inevitable. And Erickson Lubin just fought I was just like, why are you meeting him fire with fire? You don't have the chin to fight like that. And he gets caught and he gets taken out. So, to be honest with you, yes, the second round, okay, a bit too soon for me. I thought it would have went a little bit longer, but I'll put it like this. I wasn't seeing this fight going past 6 rounds.
Yeah, okay. If you say that, fair. I had it going mid to late.
Lubin got knocked out in the round by Charlo years ago.
Yeah, that was Charlo, and that was Lubin's first foray at world level. And Charlo at the time was just Charlo. That's when we didn't know where Charlo was. I think everyone at the time thought Charlo was going to be that guy that was going to be pound for pound kings, him and his brother. But he went life and death with Fundora. But Fundora hurt him hard in that fight, badly. Even in his last fight, Lubin looked okay. I knew he's still susceptible to getting hurt, but I didn't think he'll get blowout in 2 rounds. I never did I think Lubin's going to get stopped in 2 here. I thought this was a great matchup. I was like, okay, this is a really good matchup. Between 2 guys, did you have Lubin as a top 10 154-pounder?
Yes. But still, you look at the style and you just think, right, him against someone who's maybe good, but maybe not, a devastating puncher like a VERGIL. Yeah, maybe. Like him against Madrimov, I'd say would have been a decent fight because Madrimov is respectable. I'm sure Lubin would have been reasonably okay, but VERGIL is lethal in there. He's lethal. So I knew as soon as he gets a little bit of confidence, as soon as he starts landing, it's done. It's ball game. It's a slam dunk.
I almost feel like Lubin felt something early, and because obviously the worst thing you can do is sit on the ropes against, not just against VERGIL, against anyone. I mean, unless you're Mayweather and you have this slick defensive skills where you can see these punches coming in slow-mo, then why are you on the ropes against that? And then to be on the ropes against VERGIL, who just wants to hurt you, it's the stupidest thing. So I just felt like maybe he felt something and decided, okay, I'm going to try and counter punch off the ropes. And Lubin just doesn't have the power to do that. No, he's not slick enough, doesn't have the power, and doesn't have the chin.
Exactly. And once I saw VERGIL, really start to go through the gears, I was like, yeah, it's a matter of time. And the referee was picture perfect with the stoppage. No issues.
Incredible. Considering that they were there, he's here, and I'm like, his view's almost blocked. But he obviously saw Lubin slump and said, okay, enough's enough. And I thought really, really good stoppage. All right, move on. Let's move on from it then. VERGIL Boots.
I'm probably would edge Boots, but Boots' defense is bad. If there's one thing about Boots you can criticize him for, it's his defense. Now, both guys can punch, both guys are fast, but if one guy has a bad defense and the other guy, VERGIL's not, Pernell Whitaker, but I think he's slicker. And we've never seen Boots hit by anything like what VERGIL can throw. VERGIL is they're both devastating punchers. Yeah. That's a worry.
Yeah, but I don't think VERGIL's ever been anywhere with anyone that can hit like Boots can, even.
Likewise. Yeah. Boachuk was the only kind of yardstick, and he was down twice in that fight.
There you go.
Down twice in that fight. So if Boachuk is doing that, and Boachuk's a very, very good fighter, but I think Boots is better.
Yeah. I edged to VERGIL ever so slightly.
Really?
Yeah, 55-45 VERGIL. Just because he's the proven guy for me.
He is.
I'm almost going with the proven as opposed to, look, both are super talented and they should have fought at 147. I mean, they were circling each other at 147 for ages.
It was never going to happen. It was just, I think that VERGIL stuck around at that way too long.
Yeah, hence why he was ill before a couple of fights.
Twice.
Yeah, trying to make the weight. But what he's done at 154, I mean, for your first 3 fights, moving up in weight to be Boychuk, Madrimov, and Lubin,
that's something
else. That's something. That's 3 top 10 guys you've gone in with straight away. Whereas Boots has gone in with Lima, who, let's be honest, we didn't know who Lima was prior to the fight.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. And I don't begrudge someone having an easy fight stepping up, but like there's that. And then your first fight is against Sergey Bohachuk, who we know now is top. You fight Israel Madrimov, who only lost barely to Terence Crawford, and you do a better job on him.
Yeah.
And now you're fighting Lubin, who I think out of the three is the weakest, but still, he's a top 10 fighter.
You know what I like about what Virgil's done as well, 154 pounds? He's fought 3 guys who completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Like stylistically, completely different. So he's got in there with someone that is a phone booth fighter in Boychuk. And yes, he's tasted the power and he's gone down. He has gone down. He's gone in there with a mover who he's slowed down in Madrimov, and then he's gone in there with a slickster who's turned into, I don't know, a piece of artwork that doesn't move. He's turned into a statue. So I like what he's done at 154. I'm yet to see. I know Boots is good. I know he is, and I saw that against Stanionis. But Virgil, man,
there is something about Virgil I like as well.
Just no messing around.
No
Messing around.
And I've always felt with him, same with Boots as well. I mean, I don't think Boots is afraid of anyone.
No.
But Virgil is someone where, as you say, have gloves, will fight. There's no real kind of, this, that, or the other with, Virgil. Oh, maybe, but he needs to, it's just like, yeah, when are we going to get the fight?
I interviewed Virgil Latino night, Saudi Arabia. Yes. I can't remember when that was, actually.
That was November last year.
Night?
It was about this time last year.
Was it exactly a year ago? And I said, give me your top 3. Who do you want to fight next? You know how many times I've asked fighters that question? And most of them are like, whoever. Speak to my manager. My promoter will sort that. Virgil's like, yeah, give me Crawford, Fandora, Boots. I was like, ooh.
He knows what he wants.
He knew exactly what he wants. And I'm like, what? So you're not going to, say, because Oscar was right there. So I expected him to kind of defer to Oscar. Like, look, Oscar's there, ask Oscar, but Oscar knows I'd fight anyone, that kind of talk. And he immediately said what he wants. And I was like, yeah, this is a guy that will literally, as you just said, have gloves, will fight anybody.
Yep.
Anybody.
And when we look at the performances, like that first fight at 154 against Bohachuk, felt the power, came through it. Next fight, Madrimov. I mean, the job he did there, me and you were talking about it, and he even actually, I think, retweeted us about that. Yep. Was like, definitely did a better job than Crawford. No ifs or buts. And yeah, I've just been so impressed with Virgil. I really have. And he's shown me more than Boots has in the last couple of
I don't think it happens next.
Why not?
I don't think it happens next. I think there's a money issue here. I think there's a big money issue. And it's not Bivol Beterbiev bad, because both of these guys have followings bigger than Bivol and Beterbiev. Yeah. But going off what Virgil's manager said, he says he knows the numbers, send us an offer and we'll see, type thing. And I'm like, who sends an offer to who here? It's very what do you mean sending us an offer? And so what, you're expecting Eddie to send an offer to Virgil? I'm so confused as to who's in control of this situation. And he also said something along the lines of, if the offer doesn't have, I think it was 7 zeros or maybe 8, I can't remember how many it was, but he basically wants 10 million plus for this fight.
Wow.
The fight doesn't generate that. I was
going to say, even with the Saudis' involvement, that wouldn't.
Doesn't generate that.
You can't ask for an amount like that. No way.
It just, and this is the issue. Both of these guys have never headlined a pay-per-view event.
Never.
So it's not like we know, okay, well, they can do pay-per-view. We don't know that. They've done good numbers in arenas, very good numbers, both of them respectively. But that kind of money, you're not doing good numbers in arenas. You're doing record numbers in arenas. If you want that kind of money, you know what I mean? You're going to the T-Mobile, the Barclays, the Madison Square Garden, and you're doing the biggest they've ever done in terms of gate.
Exactly. How many times has Boots sold out in his hometown? But bring him to the Barclays, as you said, bring him to MSG. See what happens there. Same with Virgil. They're known. They have a bigger fan base, as you said, than Bivol Beterbiev, but they're not at that level.
No.
Eubank Jr., Ben, bigger level.
Yeah, in terms of known. Yeah, of course, known to the casuals, known to everyone, exactly. It's obviously going to be on pay-per-view if it were to happen. What number does that do? What are we talking about here?
What would be a good pay-per-view number? I reckon, I'd be surprised if it breaks 300.
Yeah, same.
I'd be very surprised. I would consider that, if it got to 300, I'd be thinking that's very good. Very good number.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if it did, though.
Yeah. And remember, pay-per-view on DAZN isn't what pay-per-view used to be like on HBO.
Yes.
Remember, so it's not the $99.95. So pay-per-view on DAZN in America, I think it's like $50.
$50-something.
So you can just do those maths there. Both fighters aren't getting 10 million. So this is where I think egos need to kind of be pulled back a little bit. So what he's also gone on to say, again, this is Virgil Ortiz's manager. Look, fighters will fight. Yeah. So if people are going to come out and say, oh, Virgil's ducking Boots and Boots is ducking Virgil, nonsense. These guys will fight. It's always people behind the scenes. He's gone on to say that he wants to see Virgil take on Spence, Boots take on Charlo, winners fight each other.
Well, I mean, you're just piggybacking off the names of Spence and Charlo then.
Yeah.
Because Spence, I don't ever want to see him in the ring again. I love Errol Spence for that reason. Same with Charlo. I mean, the 2 years since he's fought and he looked a shell of himself. So what do we gain? That's literally just to build their profile by having them in big fights against names from the past era who are so
Does that
past
not make sense then? Now I think about it. See, now you've just said that. Piggybacking off names. Spence versus Ortiz in and around that Texas area.
It would do good numbers.
Yeah.
It would do good numbers. But this is like the Atema White situation. You're piggybacking off Dylan White's name just to get Atema. And then, you run the risk of, okay, now he couldn't get a date for December 13th because everyone's pricing himself out because of that.
Yeah.
So there's the risk. I think maybe I'm looking at it because I just see Spence is so past that it's like, I don't want to see him get hurt. Probably likewise Charlo as well.
Yeah, Spence hasn't fought since Crawford. Charlo hasn't fought since Canelo.
Yeah.
They are very much past it.
And that was like August, September of 23. So it's literally very much past it. And I'm more worried about Spence because of the beatings he's taken. I don't want to see any more damage. I can see why they'd want to do it.
Yeah.
Because again, it's fairly riskless. It is fairly riskless. No disrespect, but it is. And Errol Spence is fighting. Who's he fighting? Oh, and this guy done a number. Oh, yeah, let's go watch him. Same with Charlo. We know Charlo and Canelo couldn't stop him, but Boots did. Oh, let's watch it. These two guys are going to be epic together. So I can see it from a marketing point of view. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, right. For marketing, makes sense. Managers, makes sense. For us fight fans, doesn't.
No.
But I do wonder if... I do wonder what kind of wins out here. And I almost feel like the manager's going to win out. I don't think we see it next. I think it's built up for something that happens in the fall of next year. And they do go... April, May, they do go Spence and Charlo. Charlo was there as well. I don't know if you saw that. Charlo was there, and he was saying kind of goading Boots.
He was.
And what did Eddie say? Eddie say, "Don't price yourself out. Don't price yourself out." So they know, like these, they're not going to give us next. And I don't know why they keep rolling the dice with these fights and making semi-finals when the finals right there. Everyone's just a bit too greedy sometimes.
And here's the thing, right? With those two fights, I think both guys, Spence and Charlo, are so past it, it's probably riskless. But they've been doing this for a while. Turkey, everyone. There's been all these finals, semi-finals, nearly every time someone loses.
Yeah.
And you run the risk. And then you could turn around and say, oh, now we've lost this fight. Well, we wouldn't have if you just went for it.
Dude, it's not even just losing, it's getting injured.
Or getting injured.
It's getting injured, it's getting cut, it's something happening. It's too risky. I think you should just do it. And you know what's crazy about this fight as well? It's clearly the best fight you can make at 154 pounds. No belt.
I was literally going to say, like, you're talking about the best fight and there wouldn't be a world title on the line.
What does that mean about world titles? That the best fight you can make, one of the best fights in boxing, doesn't have a world title on the line.
I think it's important that we do, like, you do want to have a world title on the line for these things. You feel like it's deserved it. But think about it like this. When Pacquiao fought Ricky Hatton, the IBO had to come in and say, here's our belt, just sell it as a world title fight. But essentially that was a non-title fight. Sometimes you don't need it. If they're big enough names, people can just, it doesn't matter what the world title is. We just want to see this fight. Like,
so who are the champions? So you've got Bakram,
you've got
Fundora, Xander Zayas, and Barral.
Yeah.
Xander Zayas and Barral are going to have a unification fight, I think, in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Yeah.
So come the middle of next year, you'll only have 3 champions. So...
That's a massive fight, by the way, that no one's talking about in the future. Xander Zayas versus VERGIL Ortiz, Puerto Rican versus Mexican, both unbeaten potentially, is an enormous fight.
I know.
You don't get bigger fights in America than Puerto Ricans versus Mexicans. They're just enormous fights. They love it up. They completely do. All right, so let's move away from that. Let's talk about matters closer to home before we get into some other news. Ben Eubank Fight Week.
Here we go. I stand by what I said. It feels like this fight is going flat or under the radar. It feels like we're in fight week, and it still just feels like, where's the hype? Because do you remember back in April, everyone was talking about this?
I can't remember maybe because I wasn't involved and I was throwing my toys at the pram. But I'm trying to think of what was fight week like back in April. Was it mad?
It was manic. I think everyone was talking about it. There was all this, you had Chris Eubank Sr. still saying, I won't be there.
Yes,
it's all this.
Yeah.
So you had all that from Chris Eubank Sr. You didn't know what was going to happen with the weight and the rehydration. You were waiting to see what was going to happen at the next press conference because you were still like, for the final one, will anything happen? Will we see another egg? Will they
do we care too much about that shit? Like, why do we care if there's no hype? Like, ultimately, we're just going to watch it, aren't we? Like, why are we so invested in... There's no hype for it. Like, what does it matter if there's no hype for it? What does it matter? I don't understand. Ultimately, you're just going to go Saturday and watch it, aren't you? I don't. Why does it need to be hype for a fight?
I think it just adds to the experience because there were fights where you look at like Fury Usyk, the first fight, right? Everyone, you were there. We were all mad hype for it, right? And I said this in a separate video. There are certain fights that I think because the fight week for Fury Usyk 1 was manic. John Fury, all that. It was completely different the second time. There wasn't all that, but there was still hype for it. Everyone was still like, can't wait to see this fight, can't wait to, because I think certain fights just capture you and you want to see it again. With this fight right here, I get why you've made it because without AJ Fury, this is the biggest fight we made in the UK. But the first one had everything. It ticked all the boxes, plus a great fight. It just felt like that was a one and done thing. Whereas like fights like Fury Usyk, fights like, Joshua versus Usyk, they felt like doesn't matter what they do on fight week, we're going to tune in because we're hyped anyway.
I'm always scared to talk about a fight, and look, it's our job, right? This is why people have tuned in. But I'm always scared and cautious to talk about a fight before a fight's happened. Like I feel like everyone dissects a fight saying it's going to be this, it's going to be that before a fight. And ultimately, when these guys get in a ring, we all might be like, oh my God, come, I don't know, 11 p.m. Saturday, we all might, oh my God, we might need to see a third. So I do wonder, because of, like, I almost feel like the hype from this fight is almost carrying on from the first fight and what happened. So this is now like round 13 for me. I don't look at this as round 1. I look at this as round 13 of fight number 1 as opposed to fight 2, round 1.
No, for me, I see this as a brand new fight.
Why?
I genuinely do.
Even though all the circumstances are the same venue, same weight clause, same Eubank, same Ben?
No, I still see this as a complete reset. This for me is a complete reset. Fury Usyk felt like round 13. That literally felt like round 13. This feels like when they get in the ring and that bell goes, we're back to square one.
What's the difference out of interest? Why did Fury Usyk feel like round 13 and this doesn't?
I think because for one, both heavyweights, both arguably the best in the division. You felt like it can't be a one and done. We need to see a part 2. This, you felt like the first time around, it was everything. It was the spectacle, it was the build up, it was the dads, it was all this. Fight was great, lived up to it. Happy days, let's draw a line in the sand.
Okay.
That's how it felt to me. And I think I said it in one of our shows. In one of the shows we did, I was like, that's it, one and done. We don't need to see it. I understand why we're seeing it again, but I don't think we need to. And I think maybe that's why the hype hasn't been there this time.
Yeah, look, I agree. Look, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, trying to get some stuff out of you. I do believe that there was a good opportunity for everyone to walk away.
Yes.
Eubank's got options. Lara was earmarked. I mean, Hamza Shiraz, Canelo, maybe, I don't know. Ben certainly had options at 147.
Well, I just go back to, so Conor Benn put up a picture of him next to Ishmael Davis, right? Now, bear in mind, Ishmael Davis is fighting on this card at 154. Conor Benn is the guy fighting his second fight at middleweight. Ben looks like a blown-up welterweight next to him. Like, Ishmael Davis is massive. And you look at Conor Benn, and I look at that landscape of that division. Lewis Crooker is a world champion. Mario Barros is a world champion. I'm like, Conor, mate, there is 2 belts there crying out for you at 147. Why are you sticking around with this fight?
8 million. I'll give you 8 million reasons as to why I'm sticking around for this fight. Like,
but is his desire not to be world champion?
I don't think people care as much as the belts thing is.
But he said it's his desire to be world champion.
Yeah, but they say this, and what do they really believe? Like, ultimately, if you give Conor a chance to make, and I'm speaking for Conor here, and I could be speaking out of turn, if you would say, Conor, 3 million Barrios, no belt, 8 million, what do you think these fighters are going to do? Fighters. Money every single day of the week. Every single day of the week, they got money over belts. Like, I've not spoken to no fighter who tells me the belt's more important than the money.
Really?
No fighter. Yeah, hence why do you think all these fights are stalling?
I find that absolutely amazing because
they go for belts. I think ever since Mike Tyson said the belts mean nothing, can Riddick threw a belt in the bin, and ultimately said, I think who said it? Belts just collect dust and they're metal and rubber. I think fighters now, I think we've got into an era where all these young fighters care about is as much money as humanly possible.
Well, we just said it previously, didn't we? Like, you're talking about the biggest fight at 154. No world title on the line.
Yeah.
No world title on the line.
No.
What's
the biggest fight that can be made in the heavyweight division?
AJ Fury.
How many belts on the line there? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not as what it once was, I don't believe. Obviously, that those could just be outliers and just be luck. But
for me, I just look at it, again, this is from me from the outside looking at it. I've never boxed professionally or anything like that, but surely the aspiration has to be, when they open up the history books, it says Conor Benn world champion. It could say Conor Benn millionaire. That's very, very nice. But then you're just like, okay, yeah, and what did he do? Nothing. But he made a lot of money. But would you not want that to say, well, at this time he was the man. He was the world champion, father-son world champion. I'm just like, doesn't that mean something?
No, you're right. I think it should. I think it's very important. Like for me, I'm with you. Like I think the aspiration should be like, you know, the natural route of English, Commonwealth, British, which he's not done.
Nope.
European, which he's not done. So that almost tells me already that maybe the dream isn't to fulfill the world championship sort of aspirations like his father did as much as we think he did, because he's clearly not chasing belts. Like he's never wanted any of these belts. But look, if I'm him, when this fight is done, I get my ass down to 147. I've seen the photo that you're referring to of Ishmael Davis. That photo alone tells you are not supposed to be anywhere near 160.
Or 154.
Or 154.
Because even at 154, you were like, there is a noticeable size difference here.
Yes.
Noticeable. So you need to get your arse back down to 147 now.
Okay.
Once you finish this fight.
You said this fight is like a second fight now, not round 13.
Yeah.
Any difference in terms of who you think wins it then?
It
Ooh,
really does
bit of a pause there.
Yeah, because I don't know what the situation is with the rehydration clause. You're saying it's the same as last time.
Same.
But does that mean that Eubank Jr., if he's is there fines again? Does he care if there's fines, if there's so much money on the line? Because I'm telling you now, if he decides to miss that rehydration clause and give Conor Benn however much, 500 grand.
Yeah, what was it 500 grand for a pound, wasn't it?
Something like that. If he just decides to blow,
I mean, as rich as he is, I don't think he can give away $1 million.
I know, but I'm just thinking if he just decides to miss that and comes in fully hydrated, fully, ready to go, rehydrated properly, I think he wins, and he wins even easier this time. If he's having a struggle like he did last time, with his age, he is 36 years old now. There is miles on the clock after the last fight. I think that could be the difference between him winning and losing.
Yeah, see, I'm steering to the latter part of what you just said there.
Yeah.
I still think Eubank gets it, but I think it's going to be really close this time, just because 36 and the miles on the clock. How quick Conor recovered from that first fight, where he's in New York for the Times Square event and he's just whistling Dixie down the New York streets, and Eubank is clearly still struggling and his face had ballooned up, and as you say, 6 months older, 7 months older. Yeah, I don't know, man. And not only that, but as you get older, you're supposed to do two things: either put your feet up or jump up in weight.
Yeah,
he's got older and he's done none of those things. He's still in the same weight class. He should be so far away from 160. Like he should be a 160. He fought George Groves at 168 nearly 8 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, 7 years ago.
So how are you down at 160?
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Makes no sense. And the older you get, a hard fight like that, the longer you need to recover. It's as simple as that. The longer you absolutely
Maybe that's why he
need to
didn't
recover.
take it in September. I know he's saying different things, but maybe that he's thought, no, I want a couple more months here.
No, absolutely. And he did. And to be honest with you, I think that's exactly what he did, and it was the right decision. I just, the only thing I would say about Eubank is that he's got Bomac this time, who is a master strategist. So if he has left something in the ring from the first fight, I think that having Bomac in your corner, Chris Eubank clearly respects what he says because he listens to him. Having him there, master strategist, that will help him.
Maybe that's also a tick to Conor Benn. The fact that you've decided, okay, no, I need Bomac back.
Yeah, you need Bomac back.
Yeah, I need Bomac back. Bomac got me the Liam Smith result, second time round, what I wanted, the stoppage. I need a guy like that back. So maybe there is a kind of almost a nod to Conor, like, okay, you were a bit better than I thought. Let's get Bomac in camp this time.
And have you seen the training footage of Chris Eubank Jr.? Although he's not based himself in America, Bomac travelled to Dubai or Abu Dhabi, wherever he's based. So it wasn't like, he only has Bomac for a little bit. No, he's had Bomac the whole way through. He's had him based over in the Middle East. So he is getting the full Bomac. Yeah, me and you, we're going.
What was it, 116, 112 last time? Is that what the scores were across the board?
116, 112 across the board. 8 rounds to 4.
Probably wouldn't be shocked at something similar to that. 115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, I think if Chris takes it this time, it's going to be similar. But I think if he does, he'll probably have an easier time earlier on than he did last time. He'll probably fade down the stretch again.
Yeah. I think, when you said there's no hype for the main event, I think the undercard, they need to work on this completely, because there's a couple of good fights in the undercard that have going completely under the radar.
Yeah.
Like, no one's talking about Jack Cattrall, who, by the way, has been a main event fighter for the past 3-4 years. No one's talking about him fighting Eko Usman.
Yeah, but
like Bozy Ennis, like no one's talking about anything about this.
That's why you say no one's talking about Jack Cattrall. That's not new. No one ever really does. I mean, I remember when Chisora fought in the same arena a week apart, it was like a funeral when Jack Catterall was in there. No disrespect to him, but he just doesn't have that charisma and he doesn't have that style.
I was there for that fight. What do you mean? A funeral in terms of quiet? Are you talking about the Harlem Eubank fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, no, that was yeah.
No, I wasn't talking about the Harlem Eubank. I was talking about the one he fought before that, which was the
Barboza fight. Got good numbers.
Compare that though, but compare it to Chisora, who was there the week before.
Yeah, but Chisora.
I know, but
Yeah,
still,
you're
it
talking
was
about,
like...
talking about probably top 5 ticket sellers this country's ever seen. No, well, currently, I mean. Chisora is incredible. But yeah, you're not a fan of Jack, obviously, it sounds like.
As a person, seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
He really does. But he very mellow kind of guy, which I quite like actually, but there's not really anything you can really, you wouldn't be catching a Jack Catterall interview saying, I'm dying to see that, just to see what's being said. And the same in the ring. I mean, you had Turkey basically saying this isn't boxing. So when Turkey is saying that, you're like, right, there's a problem here. So this is your chance. Turkey be there. This is your chance to really, show him what you can do.
Yeah.
Echo was the perfect dance partner for that. But I think Jack Catterall, and Jack Catterall after the first Josh Taylor fight, right? He was hard done by. He won the fight.
Yeah.
He should have been world champion. And he had a chance there to really push on. But for years and years and years, up until he got the Taylor rematch, what ended up happening with him was everyone was sympathizing with him. But after 2 years of just mentioning Josh Taylor and saying I got robbed, people were like, don't care now. And you're not really entertaining us in the ring. And I think that actually hurt him in the long run. And he's not really changed up from that. He's got the win over Josh Taylor, but he's still not looked remotely entertaining.
Yeah, and it's not helped that the performance against Barboza was so bad, and then we saw what Barboza did against Tio.
Yeah,
so all of a sudden...
we saw how the jump.
Yeah.
Big jump.
Yeah, that's not helped at all. Who wins that fight, do you think? Echo, Jack?
I'd say Jack probably does take it, but Echo is going to make him work for it.
Yeah,
and him against a pressure fighter like Echo Usman, who is just all action non-stop, beat Josh Taylor, going off a win over Josh Taylor, biggest win of his career. But Jack Catterall, I think, should win. But the jury's still out at 147 pounds. How exactly he's going to look?
Yeah, like. I mean, look, we saw it against Harlem, or we didn't see it because nothing really happened in that fight. Yeah. But I am interested to see if Bozy can change anything. We know Boots is one of the most aggressive fighters in boxing, and you're right, Jack's so laid back with his performances sometimes. If Bozy can add anything to Jack at this stage of his career, I don't know if it's possible, but I'd like to see a Jack under Bozy for a couple more fights. Ishmael Davis versus Sam Gilly.
Now that I love that fight. It's a really good fight. I think we look at Ishmael Davis and we see the 3 defeats back to back, and we just back to back. But again, Josh Kelly, 7 days notice, roughly 7 days notice thereabouts, and he nearly had Kelly out of there towards the end of the fight. Boachuk, elite, world level, short notice again. And very
Boachuk was supposed to fight Majimov.
He was supposed to fight Majimov, and very unlucky against Kevin and Jago. Very unlucky. That fight could have went either way. Yeah.
The thing is, and I've done this with Ishmael a few times, because I almost like, well, there's asterisks with all those defeats. People don't care.
They don't care.
3 defeats is 3 defeats, and it can't turn into 4. Because then everything just changes. Your money goes down, interest in you goes down. You've just got to win. You've got to win. Quick turnaround.
It is. I was going to say, very quick turnaround. Only September. So 2-month turnaround. I think he'll beat Sam Gilly.
So do I.
Sam Gilly, in his last fight, he only fought a couple of months ago on a Queensbury card, 8-rounder against some journeyman, and he drew.
I was there.
I'd be like, what?
I was there. I was a Nigerian guy. I was there, and it was a draw, yeah, and he was so upset with himself. Yeah. But there are some good wins there. The Louis Green one.
Louis Green win was very good. Yeah. I remember that fight. That was on Sky. That was very good. And he fought a guy, what was it, Jack McGann or something like that? He looked good in that fight as well. I think Echo Usman is better than those two. And I think Echo Usman, I think Ishmael Davis is better than those two. And I think that I think he'll have to beat the Sam Gilly. Don't think he'll stop him.
No.
Go to points.
Yeah.
But I think he'll win
He needs to start fast. Decision. One thing that he's been accused of
has done it, hasn't he? He's always come into fights late. Josh Kelly, very late, and you're like, mate, that was there for you. Yeah. You should have started earlier.
To start, yeah, he's got to start a bit fast. Adam Azim.
Yes.
Against Kurt Scooby. Yeah.
Love watching Adam Azim, but he's been inactive. I know he's young, but he has been so inactive over the last couple of years. Like, do you remember Ben was talking about having him on pay-per-view when he was 20? And you were thinking, right, we're going to be seeing a lot of him. And it's just, when was the last time he fought? It just seems like ages.
It's been a while. Remember, he was supposed to fight on the Callum Simpson card.
Yes.
Against a nobody.
Yes, I remember that. He got pulled from that literally on fight week. No, I think we need to see more of Ade Gman. I think this is a good fight because Kurt Scooby, he is going to give it. He's going to bring it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been waiting for this opportunity. These like those kind of small OTX shows in America, he's done well on those shows. He's grown a fan base. I think when people see him, they might be surprised about the size of him.
Oh, yeah, he's
really small legs, but he's stocky, very aggressive. Ade Gman should come through this quite comfortably, but if he doesn't,
questions need to be asked.
yeah, and it'll be about his activity. It'll be more questions about his activity than anything else because we know there's a talent there.
Oh yeah,
I mean, Ade
can
Gman,
see it.
like top talent.
You can see it. He passes the eye test straight away. But yeah, if we do see struggles in here, the inactivity is a legit reason. It's a legit cause. And I think with his style, Ade Gman, speed, reflexes, you need steel sharpens steel. You need to be active to make that style work.
Yeah, but look, there's a few fights on the undercard that I'm interested in, particularly those two last ones: Ishmael Davis versus Sam Gilly, Ade Gman versus Kurt Scooby. On the Ade Gman thing, he's obviously been always heavily linked with Dalton Smith. It's now been confirmed he will fight Subriel Matias in New York, January the 10th, on some obscure pay-per-view.
I never heard of it.
Never heard of it in my life. Yeah. It's a tough ask for Dalton.
It's a
tough
big ask,
boy.
Although I think Matias has slowed down a little bit, I still think he is lethal. And Dalton Smith has probably never fought anyone like a Subriel Matias, someone who from the first round is going to be coming, looking to take his head off and throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him nonstop. So, because he's a real rhythm fighter. He likes to set a rhythm. He gets into a rhythm. Yeah, he likes to get into it. Yeah, Subriel Matias is going to upset that rhythm.
No. There's no pause here.
No.
Like, there is no, like, okay, this guy's going to let me feel him out for the first couple of minutes of the first round. No. He's going to be on him like flies on shit immediately. And I don't know if Dalton has the X factor. I mean, he can punch. He's got respectable punch power, but we don't know if that's world level punch power. Subriel needs to be stopped. Yep. He's like a horror movie. Like, you know, where you feel like he's dead, but he's not dead, and he just keeps on coming. So, look, I think Dalton's got the skill, but he's going to have to find something big here.
You know, Matias went through, I think it was 5 fights in a row where he retired his opponents. And he fought a guy called Jeremiah Ponce. Do you remember he fought Lewis Ritson back in the day? If you ever watch that fight, the first round, Ponce rocks Matias a couple of times, and Matias just is like, don't care. Second round, he starts and puts it straight back on Lewis Ponce. After 5 rounds, he literally beat the fight out of him, where he was like, I can't stop this guy. He's hurting me. I can't get into him. I'm done. I can see something like that happening if Dalton Smith is not 100% on it.
Yeah, and my fear for Dalton as well, and I think we've seen it in a couple of fights, bad cuts.
Yeah.
And you almost feel like they're going to open up because Matias is a bit of a naughty fighter as well. You are going to see elbows and headbutts. So they just got to be very careful. I thought this was going to go on the undercard of Morale, Callum Smith, but this is now completely separate. I don't know what's going on with that fight, by the way. That seems to have just vanished. No one's talking about it anymore, which is strange. It makes me wonder if Beterbiev's up to something somewhere or Bivol's up to something somewhere, and they're trying to... You never know what goes on behind the scenes in boxing and conversations, because Beterbiev being pulled from that November 22nd card, no one said why yet.
Yeah.
No one said if he's injured. I was watching him do workouts at home with weights, and all of a sudden he's injured, so it's a bit strange. What's the bigger fight here? Virgil Ortiz boots, Shakur Teo.
Oh, wow. I'm going to go Shakur Teo.
Okay, that looks like it's going to be announced soon.
That's going to be a good fight.
That's a great fight.
I think, I love Teofimo Lopez. I look at the style of Shakur Stevenson and I think, yo, Teo, good luck with that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm completely the opposite.
Really?
Completely the opposite.
Oh, what?
I mean, this is the guy that worked out Josh Taylor. This is the guy that worked out Loma. He worked out Loma.
He did work out Loma.
And one thing about him with the Loma fight, it was so much bigger than Loma. He's so much bigger than Shakur. I've spoken to Shakur so many times, and he's always been like, no, I'm good at 135, Like, you've seen those boys at 140, they're big boys. Teo was ready to go 147. Yeah. Teo always steps up. Every time you think, always finds a way. But everyone was talking about Barboza could do it, Barboza destroyed him. Like, one-way traffic. Loma, like, up until the last couple of rounds, and Josh Taylor just batted him away like a fly.
But he is a big occasion fighter, Teofimo Lopez.
And this is a big occasion. This is a big occasion. You don't get more bigger occasion than Shakur Stevenson. Unbeaten Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, but whenever I've seen him with, like, okay, you figured out Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor, mid to close range. The great Vasily Lomachenko. He is so great with his feet, but he is more of a pressure fighter. okay, Jermaine Ortiz, mover. Sandor Martin, mover. Shakur Stevenson, mover.
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't know if Shakur Stevenson is a mover like that. I think Shakur...
He's not as negative.
Yes.
Well, he is actually.
No, but now all of a sudden, and we saw that in the Williams Zepeda fight, and hopefully he doesn't do it again, he's staying in the pocket. I
Really?
don't... Yeah, I really think Teo could beat Shakur Stevenson. I think Teo is an incredible fighter.
He is.
I think incredible fighter. He's antics out the ring. And not wrong, he's had some poor performance. Sandor Martin, he's had some poor ones. Yeah.
For every great performance, that's why it can be hard.
But the poor performances are against... It's almost like he lowers himself to his opponent's level. When he's in there against someone that he's afraid against, this boy just seems to come to life. I don't think I can rule him out of anything.
And that's, I think, why he lost to Kambosos. Thought it would be easy. It wasn't. That was the best version of Kambosos. And then he fights Sandor Martin, again, thinking it would be easy. Gets dropped in that fight. But then he fights Josh Taylor, and you're like, it's like the Teofimo who fought Loma.
Yeah.
Why can't you always be like that?
Size-wise, remember Shakur's a 126 guy, wasn't he?
Started at 126.
126,
Yeah, went to
dude.
130.
Yeah.
135. And as you said, like, he's happy at that weight.
Happy at
So
135, but
140.
he's chasing the fights.
Yeah.
He's chasing the big fights and the big money. I think it's an incredible fight.
I do as
It's
well.
I honestly do think it's an incredible fight. And I've gun to the head, Shakur. When someone's unbeaten, I think they'll stay unbeaten. Like gun to the head, Shakur Stevenson. Let's not forget George Kambosos, Teofimo Lopez. So sometimes he does let slip. I just feel like we might have a focused Teo now. I feel like all the antics and all the stupid stuff he says, he just looks ready to go now. He looks
we
ready to
finally
go.
have the takeover. Do we? You
I
think
think
we do?
we might finally have the real takeover. There's a big ass jumping up in weight for Shakur, but Shakur is probably the best technically gifted boxer out there. He's so good, but
Pure boxing, he is arguably the best around. He is so good.
He has bad hands.
He has
bad hands.
And with someone like a Teofimo Lopez, a big puncher, you really want to deter him. You want to hit him with something early on. In fact, that's what Kambosos did.
Yeah.
He hit him with a big right hand early on, dropped him and got his respect.
Yes.
Shakur can do that, but is he going to get his respect and at the same time damage himself?
Here we go. Great fight. Clarissa Shields, we'll end on this. Clarissa Shields has, it's a weird one. She signed an $8 million deal with Dimitri Salita. $3 million of it is a sign-on bonus. And the other is up to $8 million. The other $5 million is over 4 fights over 2 years. Now, look, go and get your money, Clarissa. If that kind of money's coming your way, take it. Fuck me, that's
take the
crazy money.
Hell yeah.
I just don't understand the maths. The maths ain't mathing for me.
I mean, look, I'm happy for Clarissa. Take that money, go laugh your way to the bank. But Dimitri Salita, he is going to take some serious L's on those shows. Because who does she have to fight?
Yeah.
We know Clarissa. We like watching Clarissa. She's a great talent.
Yeah.
But the problem is, she's a couple of weight divisions above where the real good fights are, where the money fights where you look and you think, yeah, you could make something in that, even promote everything. You look at the people she's fighting, you're like, oh, God.
Yeah, I saw an article and they were like, oh, fights against Franchon Cruz Dezern and Shadesha Green. I'm like,
You're like, wow.
Yeah.
And then you're hearing like Sky Nicholson, Ellie Scottney, Amanda Serrano, maybe Chantel. You're hearing these fights and you're like, yes. And you're hearing Clarissa's and you're just like, huh?
Yeah. There is some talk about Michaela Meyer.
No. Yeah. Michaela Meyer is...
Some talk.
No.
You know, about Michaela Meyer jumping up and fighting her.
Same with Elisa Baumgartner. You hear people, but it's like, those girls, right, are perfect for one another in terms of fighting. They're at the same weight. They looked at... Savannah Marshall is massive, right? You just compare her, and Savannah Marshall probably, you're talking 168 is her limit, right? Those two girls, what are they at, 154?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think 147, Michaela.
Yeah, there you go. So no, that's too big a jump.
Yeah, she has no opponents, but look, I've always said I don't know how there isn't no one out of the Olympics like Clarissa was.
It's incredible. It's
like,
amazing to
where
think
are
about
these
it. Where are
girls?
they?
Yeah, especially considering that female boxing has grown tremendously in the last 5-10 years because of Katie and Clarissa and Amanda and whoever else. Where's the new Clarissa?
We haven't seen any. Like, I mean, if you think about it like this, when Katie Taylor came along, we knew, right, she's going to be one of the figureheads. Then we see the Ellie Scottneys, the Sky Nicholsons, we see the Elisa Baumgartners.
Sandy Ryans.
Sandy Ryans. But then all of a sudden, like, after I want to say like 2020, 2021,
Pause.
We've literally just been like, where are they?
Yeah, the only one that's made any noise over here at least, maybe is Caroline Dubois. like that's come through, and she's not
Hennessy
yet
to an
ready.
extent as well.
Who?
Francesca Hennessy to an extent as well.
No, not at that level. No,
not
no,
that
no,
level,
no,
but
no.
she has potential.
No.
She'll
No,
get.
well, yeah, but
But yeah, in terms of world level,
yeah, in
Caroline
terms of world
Dubois,
level, yeah,
definitely.
Caroline Dubois. So it's going to be interesting to see who they match Clarissa up with, because seeing Clarissa recently, I do that because of how thick her thighs are. She ain't making 154.
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
Jesus, no!
She ain't making 154. She's been fighting as a heavyweight for the
Not a
last 3
hope
years.
in hell.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm happy she gets well. She's going to get well paid, so I'm happy for that. But I mean, I'm just thinking, who is she going to fight? Because I think at the end of the day, we know how good she is. We want to see her in fights that are competitive. We don't want to see her in fights where we just know the outcome.
Yeah, and it's been blowouts recently.
Yeah, we've known the outcome of every fight she's been in before it's even happened.
Any more? No, still there? More? No, okay,
I
no.
just thought I'd give that. I thought I'd give my 2
Guys,
cents on it.
oh, any more? Yeah, he's still there. All right, guys, thank you very much. As usual, make sure you subscribe to G-Man's channel, subscribe to my channel, like, share, and do all the good stuff you do, and we'll see you in the next one.